I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get it, no call it quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked.
Welcome to The Art of Speed. This is Jesse back here with part 2 of Project Supra. Today we're going to talk about the vision I had for this car and the build, what we're working on, how soon we're going to get it put back together potentially. And in the next video, I'm hoping you'll get to see it running and doing some pretty cool stuff. Since the last video, about 4 months have already transpired. So it's been a process to get to this stage. We had some setbacks along the way. One, I made a pretty significant mistake and did some damage to my stock camshafts, and that left me in a position where I decided to switch out the entire head, essentially. The only thing left stock now on this head is just the factory valve stems. Everything else has been upgraded and replaced. So we went with Brian Crowder dual springs with titanium retainers, went with some Kelford cams. It's a really mild cam setup. We're going to do a 264 duration cam, 272 on the exhaust side. Basically, we're going to spin the thing up to 8,000 RPM now. So it's going to be kind of exciting to see what that can do. I hadn't really talked about it, but I had dreams of potentially seeing how much power we could make on a fully stock motor, because that record set at about 932 wheel horsepower right now. So I was really wanting to see if we could kind of get into that realm. Not necessarily with this turbo setup, but just a reliable setup on stock head, stock cam, stock bottom end. Obviously that got thrown out with the issue on the cam. Let's see, let's talk about this for a little bit. So we went with an ETS 4-row intercooler on the front of the car. So basically nice quality ETS cooler, modeled after the old Greddy spec intercoolers from the early 2000s, late 90s. This has got a 2.5 inch to 3 inch adapter, because we've got a Precision 6466 Sportsman going in, and so that's got a 2.5 inch outlet off of it. It steps up to a 3 inch right away. Comes 3 inches into the intake side, or the hot side of the intercooler, comes through the intercooler, comes out the other side with a beautiful 4 inch single piece from Powerhouse Racing. They fabbed this up for me that will come through the factory battery location and go into the intake manifold. So intake manifold is a Plasma Man, a billet manifold with a Bosch 83 millimeter drive-by-wire throttle body on it. So it's got a nice big throttle body. Excuse the vacuum line, I was just test fitting that. Direct runner, this thing is a thing of beauty. And then we'll run just standard 6 injectors, ID 1700s. Those are set up to run off the Powerhouse Racing single feed kit, which has got a -8 feed kit to a -6 return with a flex fuel sensor and the Powerhouse Racing flex fuel adapter, which is all under the car. So it's gonna be really hard to see that in today's video. Back of the car, running twin Walbro 525 fuel pumps on Powerhouse Racing's fuel pump hanger, which is a thing of beauty. There's a video on my channel. You can go back and find it and I can show you what that looks like. Wired all that up with Deutsch connectors quick release, so that if I ever need to do service on any part of that fuel pump system, I don't have to unwire anything. I can just unplug, which makes it really super easy to swap out a bad fuel pump, or fix a wiring issue if it exists. A few of the other things that we've done is we've gone all billet on the idler pulley and everything for the timing belt, putting a Gates timing belt on it, since we got the head apart. Went with Powerhouse Racing Hall effect crank sensor, which will make startup easier for the car. It'll make it easier to get the car started and idling versus the factory OEM sensor. Did the same thing on the camshaft with a Hall effect sensor on the camshaft as well. In the process of doing this intake manifold, we had to change a bunch of stuff to fit. The power steering reservoir from the factory would no longer fit in the car. With the intake manifold installed, it barely fits, even with this one, the aftermarket one from Powerhouse. In that process, instead of using vacuum lines down to the power steering pump and down to the rack and pinion, I switched all that out to AN, braided AN lines. And so just gives a little bit more reliability, a little bit less fluctuation based on heat. So the power steering, which is generally a problem on the Supras because of how heavy they are and kind of front end weight bias, they do all of that automatically now. So it helps with all that. And that all is running through a helper 3-row power steering cooler up here that's mounted behind the intercooler. And then additionally, we did a massive upgrade to the transmission cooler here. We went with a 40-row cooler. The old cooler was a 23-row, so it's almost double the cooling capacity of the original cooler that was in the car running with this transmission. TurboSmart blow-off valve. TurboSmart, we're going to do twin TurboSmart wastegates on the SQ23 manifold from Powerhouse. Again, running that V-band 6466. Goal for the engine, horsepower-wise, through the automatic, I think we can hit 750 pretty easily, but You know, it's hard to say how much drivetrain loss we're going to actually get, so I don't know until we really put it down on there. And that is on pure E85, not a pump gas. Obviously, probably somewhere in that 22 to 26 pounds of boost range. We can run all the way up to 30 on this setup. If we go to 30, I think we could be closer to that 800 to the wheels range, but I think we'd be very much at the max of the setup. We have upgraded all the water system, so we went billet water next on the top and the bottom. We've got, not in the car right now, but sitting in a box over here, is a Powerhouse Racing 4-core aluminum radiator with Spall brushless fan setup, so all electric brushless fans. That'll handle all of the water cooling needs for us. And that pretty much covers everything we're doing on the motor, which is a lot, obviously. Battery location to the trunk, we'll show that. Powerhouse makes a great kit for that. Yeah, so we can kind of move on and go into the interior a little bit. I've got a really sweet Dula design ECU mount. So what that's for is basically I can standoff mount my Haltech Pro 2500 and everything in the factory ECU location and put a kick plate over the top of it so that my passenger can get in the car and we're not worried about feet on the electronics. That was an interesting solution I came across, and I want to give a shout out to Pure Functions YouTube. If you don't follow them, you should, because if you're a Supra enthusiast, Pure Function is definitely doing some really cool stuff with the Supra. Interior wise, I got it still all torn apart right now, but I got all new dash pieces, OEM restoration pieces from Junsai out of New Zealand. They have created OEM replica pieces, which is something that if you know anything about Toyota plastics, they're kind of crummy. So I don't know how well you can see it, but maybe you can in the sun, but you can see how these things are sort of like this. This whole piece is just really tacky. That's why all the dust is sticking to it. That's really normal for 90s Toyota plastics. And so Junsai has recreated all these pieces to match and do everything you want them to do from an interior restoration side. So got all of those to put in. We converted this car. This car was a tan interior car to begin with. And so we converted the carpet to black. In the process, obviously, we converted all the tan seats. My boys over at GP Customs here in Lincoln, they did my seat covers for me. I bought them through Righties, had them designed by Righties. So they are an Alcantara center section with Napa leather surround. Really a nice upgrade over the factory Toyota leather. The factory Toyota leather is great, but it's kind of plasticky. It's normal 90s Japanese leather. It's not the greatest quality product. This has just elevated it to a whole nother level from an interior perspective. I've got all new LED dash lights going into the car done by Stu Hagen. So basically the whole instrumentation cluster, everything is no longer analog. It's all done with digital LED. Super excited for that to be installed. I can't show you that today. It's not installed yet, but that's something that'll be going in the car in the next week or two. We went through the brakes. We put Stop Tech drilled rotors on. They don't functionally do anything over a blank rotor, but they just look cool. I like the drilled rotor effect, so I was like, I just kind of wanted them. We put Hawk pads on it, had all of the factory calipers rebuilt, because if you know about USDM market Supras, the factory brake system and the factory calipers are about as good as you can get, with the exception of going like super big brake kit, which just wasn't really necessary. I was going to do stainless steel lines from the factory hard lines over to the calipers. And on doing research on that, that's really kind of a race car thing, and they can actually create more brake failure in a road car. So I ended up just replacing all of the factory brake lines with new Toyota factory brake lines. Some previous work done to the car. Toyota replaced all the upper control arms on the car a year ago. Really common in these cars, especially if they're lowered, to have those A-arms go bad. These were bad, so had them replaced. And then put KW3 coilovers on the car. So this is the KW3 version 2, variant 2. So they've got a bound and rebound adjustable to 10 steps on the top and bottom of the strut. And then ride height adjustable. It's kind of their street, what they call their street coilover set. So you're not sacrificing a lot of ride quality because they have a nice helper spring to help kind of smooth out the ride. Some other stuff, obviously, we talked about that's more performance oriented. Still putting this back together, but you got the battery in the trunk of the car now, and all the power is ran for that to run it up to the factory front fuse box. We've got a little bit of modification still to do the fuel pump wiring. I've got way too much fuel pump wire because it's designed to go all the way to the front of the car, so I got to fix that. And that pretty much puts us done on the mechanical side. The car is getting all new lighting, exterior lighting. So working with a gentleman, Super LED Rears out of the UK. He has agreed to hand build me carbon fiber headlights. That process has been lengthy and a trial and error process. And I hope he's getting close. He hopes he's getting close too. So we're getting closer and closer there. So we'll have carbon fiber headlights, carbon fiber tails, all both with LED projectors on both pieces, side markers that will be LED side markers, and then sequential LED turn signals on the front of the car as well. From there, we've got a Cybon carbon fiber front lip spoiler. We've got a set of Ridox side skirts with carbon fiber underboards. I am going to test fit some Auto Art rear spats on the car. I'm not sure I want them yet. I want to see what the car looks like without them and then decide if I want to put them on. And that will pretty much, TRD replica spoiler built off of an original TRD mold, so not a cheap knockoff spoiler. This is the real deal, and it's got a exposed carbon fiber center blade section and center cap. And then you've got a Cybon carbon fiber hood going on the car as well. So when you get kind of that far down the rabbit hole, there's not much left on this car that's stock. You heard me talk about most of it. The only things that are left stock on the car is the bottom end of the car, so the cranks, rods, pistons, ring lands, main bearings, all that stuff. The oiling system is all stock. We didn't go to a dry sump or do anything like that. Some guys do build dry sump cars. Didn't feel like we needed that for a street car. Rear diff is still stock for now. Probably won't stay that way. Most likely what I'll do on this rear diff is I'll do new half shafts, new drive axles. I will do a torsion limited slip differential in the car, and then we will replace all of the soft bushing mounts from Toyota with solid bushing mounts from Powerhouse to sort of make sure that that rear end can't hop around, because if it starts hopping around, we're gonna break something real quick. Some other future ideas on this car: the A340 is probably not long for this world, so the automatic in this car, even though it's fully built, has been built for a long time, been rebuilt a couple of times. In fact, it's got a precision 3,400 RPM stall in it. I don't think we're gonna keep that setup. I think we'll run it for a while, and at some point, I think it's gonna say enough is enough, and I may not wait for it to give up before I do that. And so most likely, the way I'm leaning as of right now when we're recording this video, is to put a Granis Racing T56 Magnum kit, the 700A kit, in the car, which would produce transmission that can hold about 1,100 horsepower, about 700 or 800 foot-pound of torque, which is more than enough for what we're going to do with this car. And ultimately, we'll push the car to, probably somewhere in that 900 horsepower to the wheels range, just because of the efficiency of the automatic or the manual over the automatic. Yeah, I mean, other than that, everything else is kind of engine dress-up stuff, so you can expect there's going to be loads of carbon fiber on this car, lots of stuff like that. And yeah, I'm getting rid of the factory hood prop, because I hate the hood prop. I want gas struts on my hood. It's kind of a modern car thing, so we'll put some gas struts on the hood. Powerhouse makes a great kit for it. And that's pretty much it. The car is going to be more or less completed at that point. And I guess we'll have that done in about a course of right at about a year, I think. That is what I'm kind of hoping. Anyways, we'll see what happens. So this has been The Art of Speed with Jesse. This has been update number 2, which is the build. I hope you enjoy the video. If you like it, hit the like button down below. If you want to stay up to date on my updates. I do post smaller updates all the time. And that stuff is all live on the channel, so just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and check it out there. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next video.
That's how I get it. Success ain't no giving. Some days I don't eat, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous. They don't want it when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my